This is sick. Oh, wow.
Mate, I'm fucking delighted to finally get you on. It's been years in the making.
Yeah.
There's a lot to catch up on.
I aired you for too long.
It's all good. I forgive you. I mean, you've given us an interview at the best possible time. Save it for the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome back to the True Geordie podcast. Today's guest is the second of my friends to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Fucking weird life we're living, isn't it? Deji, thanks for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
Oh,
for
mate.
real.
What a life. It must be really weird being you right now. Like, you were basically a bit of a laughing stock for this guy who couldn't win a fight for love nor money. And watching you, there was times where I was like, God, I give up on this guy.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he's ever going to come good. Then the last fight, I've never been proven more wrong about someone in that in terms of the boxing sense. Like, you destroyed Fuzi. It was amazing. And Fuzi's he's no pushover. He's a tough kid. He came in shape, probably the best shape we've seen any YouTube boxer in.
Yeah.
And you just walked through him with skill. And then Floyd Mayweather. How do we go from that to that? Tell me the process of the phone call, like the reach out. What happened?
So I actually have to, give credit to, believe it or not, Ryan Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, so Ryan Taylor is the one who called me being like, do you want to fight Floyd? And I was like, okay.
How the fuck does Ryan Taylor set that up?
No, Ryan he's got connections.
I know, yeah.
He's connected. So, yeah.
So weird.
Honestly, so that's how it happened. He just messaged me being like, he called me being like, do you want to fight Floyd? I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, all right, cool. Well, I've already sorted it out because I knew you were going to say yes. So, yeah, now I'm fighting Floyd.
So he was the connect. Wow.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow. Did
Ryan,
you see him and Slim on the call?
Yeah, I saw their the one with Keemstar, Happy Punch. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm weirdly hyped for that fight as well. Like, because there's some backstory and they had that brawl and
I feel like that should be main event though. Like, no offense to Jay Swingler, but
I don't know who the guy is who Jay Swingler's fighting. Whereas obviously we've heard of those two, and Slim's on the up right now.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later. Your fight, Floyd. Was there any point where you were like, I'm gonna get my arse kicked here? Like, I'm not sure about this.
When I signed to fight Fuzi, I was scared.
Fair,
but then there's someone who helped me throughout my whole camp. I've said his name many times, Shane.
Yeah, you said him in your post-match fight interview with me,
So Shane, if it wasn't for Shane, I don't think I would have won my fight against Fuzi.
So what's your relationship with this guy?
So I met Shane back in year 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So literally the moment we met, we became friends. It was weird. And now we've just been friends ever since. So he's the one who said, I'm tired of seeing you lose, because he's a chef. So he said, I'm going to do your macros, I'm gonna cook all your food, I'm gonna help you out. So he came to all my training sessions. He was there for me through everything. When we first started, I had no S&C coach, and I was too afraid to approach Leon because I knew Leon didn't rate me.
And also Leon ain't a man to be messing around with, because your track record is terrible in regards to your fitness.
Exactly.
And Leon's not someone who takes anything lightly.
Yeah. Exactly. So he was the one saying, you know what, just contact him. But I was just too afraid. So he took my phone and messaged JJ instead. And then JJ contacted Leon for me. And then that's how I got in contact with Leon. Leon put me through a very grueling session. And that's what really,
spurred you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, that was the moment when, in the run-up, I heard you were with Leon. I was like, oh, that's an X factor that I didn't see coming, because it was, to me, it was like, I know you're a better boxer than Fuzi. I just didn't have faith in you to be in shape on the night.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously with Leon behind you, Leon, if you want KOs, you go to Leon. That's this man has got a great record with YouTube boxers.
Halfway through the camp, with this Fuzi camp, no, talking back to the signing thing, so if it wasn't for Shane, I wouldn't have signed the dotted line. With
Fuzi?
Yeah, because I was petrified. Everyone was saying Fuzi's got power. If you get tagged, you'll get knocked out, this, that, blah, 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 and everything. And one of my fears was getting knocked out.
Right.
But now, I don't care. Because of Leon and Shane, I go in there and I just go in for the kill.
I noticed that during that fight, there was a moment where I was ringside, obviously I'm commentating, and I looked at you bringing him on, going, come on. And I'm like, wow. Because you weren't doing this to nobody. If Fuzi's a solid competitor who's going to give it his all, he wasn't, to be fair, if you look at the guy who JJ fought first, the guy who's running away doing ballerina twirls and all that, he wasn't that, you know what I mean? Fuzi was trying to rip your head off, to be fair, and you're just inviting him on, and that level of confidence comes from that hard work, doesn't it?
Literally.
Yeah.
So I owe it to Shane and Leon, as well as Daly, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But Shane and Leon helped me mentally. Like halfway through the camp, like I was saying, I would go into spars and I wouldn't be throwing. Do you know how I was with Alex? I wouldn't be throwing any punches. Yep. It was literally the exact same.
Wow.
So
and that was because you were scared of getting hurt.
Yeah, literally. But I was getting hurt more because I wasn't punching.
Well, yeah, because you're not giving them a reason to keep off of you.
Yeah, literally. So then Leon came to my house. And then I was like telling Leon, the spars were fine, this, that, whatever. Me not knowing that Shane's recording the spars. So I'm telling Leon, the spars went fine, it was sick, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then Shane shows Leon the spars, that Deji's terrible, this, that, whatever. And then Leon's like, what's going on? Why aren't you throwing any punches? If you don't start throwing punches, I'm not gonna be there in your corner anymore. Like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Yeah, this is halfway through the camp and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like a moment of worry then. You've got people circling you who you respect.
But then we start talking for like 3 hours straight. So Leon, obviously, he's found out, I'm not throwing any punches, but then he's trying to like understand me, why I'm not throwing punches and everything. So he kind of, he puts it in a way, like a better like perspective for me. So I love Tekken, right? So
wow. I've never seen that coming. Okay.
Yeah, so I love Tekken, right? Okay. So he was telling me to put it in the same perspective as like Tekken, because in Tekken it's all frame data, isn't it? So with boxing, it's like essentially it's the same. If they throw a jab, like I can punish it. If this, that, whatever, you know what I mean? So
So when someone throws at you, your brain is now understanding this in a different way, which is, this is an opportunity for me to punish you.
Exactly.
Because I know if you do X, I do Y.
There you go.
Then you have the answer for it. Okay.
Exactly.
That's very smart of Leon. I got to give him a lot of credit for trying to speak it in a language that you'll digest it best. And that's what a great coach does.
Yeah.
And he's done that with obviously Gib.
Yeah.
I remember him having his hair pulling out his hair, watching Gib sparring, getting angry. And you know what it's like when he gets angry and he starts like, he shouts at you like your own dad. I've seen him do that with Gib. And credit to Leon. I gotta say, like, he's made a real impact on so many young lads' life like that.
Yeah,
and
honestly, exactly. It's not just boxing; it's everything. Yeah. So like, my mental coming into anything is just different.
And that was why when I was in the ring with you afterwards, I said, "You look like a different person," and the penny had dropped, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Why? You know when you were lying to him. How did that make you feel when you're lying to Leon? Because Leon's putting his time and energy into you when he could be doing other things, and you're lying to him. How was that for you?
So I didn't want to be honest because I didn't want to disappoint him, because I was giving him my all during these sessions, so I didn't want him to kind of like backtrack on me, if that makes sense. So that's why I chose to lie, which obviously wasn't the best choice, but that's why I'm like so thankful to Shane being honest.
But in terms of Floyd, right?
Okay.
So you get off the phone.
Yeah.
You've agreed to fight Floyd.
Yeah.
But then you have to sit there and go, holy shit. So who do you tell first? What are you thinking at that point? Do you ring someone, or what are you doing?
First person I told was Shane. So before I even signed anything, I called Shane. And I was telling him I'm scared. Like,
I'm back to being scared again. Yeah.
And then Shane's just like, sign it. Just sign it. Stop being a pussy. Just sign it. And then literally, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then I signed it because I know when I know that Shane's got my back, then I'm like, cool.
How many Floyd fights have you seen, do you think?
How many Floyd fights have I seen?
Like full fights?
Full fights. I saw the Manny Pacquiao fight. Obviously the Conor McGregor fight. I've seen his exhibitions, like a handful.
Really?
Literally.
So you're getting in there with someone who's almost like a mythical, like doesn't even feel like a real person.
Literally.
Probably because his legend is so big. You know what you said before, you were scared? How are you feeling now? As now it's been announced.
I'm going for the kill. Well,
really?
But I wouldn't say going for the kill. Obviously, I'm gonna show my respects and everything. But like
in there,
yeah. But I'm coming there to fight. I'm not going there to essentially survive. I'm going in there to
do your best.
Exactly, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm never gonna get this again. So. Well, yeah, you never know. But
there's a tricky one, because I watched Daly's video, who's your boxing coach, talking about why. A lot of people have said, why did he take this? He doesn't need to go in there and get beaten up by Floyd and yada yada yada. And there's two schools of thought. There's go in there, possibly get beaten up badly by Floyd Mayweather, but it's Floyd Mayweather, so there's no shame in it. Or don't do it and live to probably regret ever having the opportunity to share the ring with the greatness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So realistically, there's no loss on my side. I get beaten up. I got in there, which is already in itself a victory. So I do well. That's a win. Win-win. I get in there. It's a win. So realistically, it's just. There's no loss. I've got nothing to lose. That's
the way Daly described it. My only worry, and this is not saying that this will happen, but confidence is something that you've already said is a big thing for you.
Yeah.
So you've built up this confidence now with Fuzi. Floyd can take anyone's confidence away within minutes, and hopefully I hope if it doesn't go the way you want it to, you are proud of yourself, because taking this on, it's a true test of a man to get in there with someone who can do what he wants.
Yeah, literally.
So you got balls.
Thank you.
I rate it. And hopefully you make some good fucking money out of it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the cash side of things? Is it good, or?
I'm being paid by the company, not by him, so I'm definitely I'm definitely
you're not
paid.
Getting the Logan Paul treatment. Fuck's sake, this guy's still trying to get this money this day.
Really?
Still this day.
Damn. That's
he got paid the money up front, but not the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Floyd's like, yeah, fuck you, pal. Why do you think Floyd is still fighting people like yourself and Logan?
So I believe there's two things. So obviously, because he's been doing this since he's young and he can't just hang up the towel. It's impossible to do. Let's say if I've been playing games since I was young. I can't just stop gaming, if that makes sense. I play less games, but I still, every now and then I play a game. I play like a game of FIFA, and then I'm done.
And you think that's the same for him?
I believe so, yeah. There's
rumours of him having financial worries, which seems... The amount of money he's made in the game, you'd think not, but then... getting in there with Logan and...
Yeah. I honestly, he doesn't even know what a bank is, does he? Because he just keeps...
it's all there, isn't it? Yeah. My mate, I say my mate, a footballer who I interviewed called Kieran Dyer, who was very close friends with Floyd in his prime, said when you went round to his house, there was fucking belts everywhere, money everywhere. He was just living life like the wildest motherfucker in his prime. Going back to the Logan Paul fight, what did you think of that?
At first, I didn't. I was kind of I didn't think it was gonna happen, but then when they started doing the face to face, then I knew okay, this is happening. And
gotcha hat. Jake really helped that promo, actually, to be fair to him.
He did, yeah. Jake did well. Pissed him off though.
Yeah, Jake's actually come out with a comment about this fight. I don't know if you've seen his reaction to it.
I haven't, no.
He's basically sort of trying to get Floyd to fight him by saying, you're kind of fighting nobodies and stuff like that. And I don't know if it was a diss on you specifically, as more of a diss on Floyd, saying, you're fighting people, tarnishing your legacy when there's bigger fights out there for you. Saying that Floyd is scared to fight him. What do you make of that?
Obviously, I guess Jake, he just wants to fight Floyd, realistically. So
how does it feel that you lost to Jake, but now you're in the hot seat? You've got what people want.
I mean, I'm blessed. That's all I can really say. I'm blessed.
I like that.
So,
and the Logan fight, the actual rounds themselves, Logan starts off strong. Floyd comes on. What did you make of the contest itself?
Obviously, it was a complete mismatch, but I'll be fair to Floyd. He held his own against someone has better reach, heavier, like literally everything just swaying in Logan's favor.
Aside from the skill,
and
And there was a lot made of that fight because afterwards, I think a lot of people were saying Floyd carried Logan. Floyd could have done what he wanted him with. At any point, he could have ended that fight. And I get like people love Floyd and they want to believe that he's like a modern day ninja. But in my opinion, when I watched that fight, I thought Floyd did everything he could to hurt Logan, but Logan was such a big guy, Logan, and fit as well. Logan could just take it all. And what really proved that for me was when you looked at the other exhibitions Floyd has had, he's absolutely wrecked everyone else he's been in there with. And when people say that this is an exhibition, your fight with him, I do think if you look at the exhibitions Floyd's had, he's ruthless. And if I'm preparing you as a coach of you, I would be saying, he ain't going to take it easy on you. So this is it, like the fittest Deji we've ever seen, the best Deji we could possibly make. Do you agree with that?
100%. Like
because he's quite he's spiteful. He's got that nastiness in his heart that he enjoys punishing people.
No, I understand. I'm the exact same. When I'm sparring someone and I know I've hurt them, I'm just like, yeah, nice. Oh, I make them bleed.
But you need that.
Yeah, exactly.
In boxing, if you don't have spite, you shouldn't be in there.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of nice guys in the YouTuber boxing, like Fair Sensei. He won't thank me for saying that, but has all the skills, but not necessarily the nastiness to execute someone in public like that, you know. And I just wondered if you were under any illusion in what you are going to be facing in Floyd, because when he gets in there, he's smiling. I don't know if you've seen that in some of his recent. He seems to really enjoy the watching them wilt in front of him slowly but surely. And personally, with your fight, you don't have the size of Logan. You are going to have to be as crafty and clever as possible when you're in there. What kind of things has Daly been saying to you on the run up to this?
That's the thing. So I don't know if I should say too much because obviously Floyd is probably going to watch this.
Obviously, technically, you don't have to give away game plans, but more mental side of things. How are you feeling? Like, how is he preparing you for that?
Preparing me. I mean, so there's no blueprint to beat Floyd realistically because. But. What I'm mainly focusing on is my cardio, because if my fitness is bad, he's going to make me look stupid. You know what I mean? He
had Logan tired in there.
Yeah,
and exactly. Logan's a big fit guy, so that is a big problem.
And we're doing 8 rounds as well. So,
wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That says that the intent is there to finish you before the end of that fight. Yeah. To me, anyway.
Yeah. So, because his last exhibition was 3 rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he still got them out of there pretty quick. Yeah. And I mean, like, it was in Japan, I believe.
Yeah, it was in Japan, yeah.
Yeah, he's had a few of those cash in hand jobs where he just turns up, knocks someone out, and goes back to the dressing room, fucks off home. But this is going to be a bigger event. I mean, you guys have got, I believe Tommy Fury is going to be on the card. Yeah,
versus Tyron Woodley.
That's the rumour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean that's a really exciting night of fights. Then
I'm having a press tour as well.
Amazing.
So, press conference in Vegas, another one in London. Then I think the final one's going to be in Dubai.
I once asked to get Floyd on the podcast, you know. Now this is what made me wonder about his finances, because I thought, you know, I'll ask, and I got through a friend of a friend. I got quoted 10 grand to have him on the podcast, and I thought, I don't know what to make of that. Because if you've got loads of money, why quote me 10 grand? And then, like, I just think that everything's for a price with him. And maybe that's him being smart, but I didn't pay it. I was like, nah, I'm good. Do you know what I mean? But it's such a mysterious thing with why he carries on fighting like this.
I feel like with Floyd, he goes at... So... If you go hard, he'll go hard. If you go soft, he'll go soft. And I've noticed that, especially with his last fight in the exhibition, the guy was going hard, so then he was like, okay, I have to go hard. You know what I mean? So I feel that's how Floyd, because he doesn't want to get hurt. Floyd doesn't want to get hurt doing these exhibitions. So if you're kind of soft, like taking your time, and he'll do the exact same stuff. And I've noticed that about him as well, because when he fought his friend Don Moore, like
it's smart to think that they're friends, because towards the end of that I was like, whoa, you're really beating the shit out of him now, Floyd.
Because Don Moore was going hard, and then so Floyd was like, okay, time for me to go hard too. So you go soft, he'll go soft. You go hard, he'll go hard. You go harder.
So I remember, I've got memory of Don Moore against the ropes, sort of like Jesus fucking Christ. And Floyd just in his face like, oh yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, I was like, I remember watching that when I knew you were coming on the show, just thinking of you, just thinking like, fuck me, you got balls getting in there with him. What do you think, when you look at Floyd, and he's a master of the game. I mean, the thousands of hours he's put into this, it's unmatched even. What do you think your takeaway from that whole experience is going to end up being?
I'm going to see all these like YouTube boxers, YouTube boxers. But realistically, we're now proper fighters. I hate saying YouTube boxers because realistically, we're fighters now. We're getting in the ring.
You've got your own league essentially. You know, just because you're not top of the world pro. I mean, how many pro shows are made up of lower level guys?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but you're going
to be in there with the greatest.
Literally, so I'm going to go in there. Because, you know, going back to what you said about confidence, how I'm going to lose confidence, I've got nothing but confidence to gain, really. Because I've been in there with Floyd. I'll see someone else. I'll be like, I fought the best in the world. Like, what can you do?
Yeah, what can you show me that I've not seen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm essentially treating it like I'm going to try and steal some things from Floyd. But when I'm fighting, I'm going to steal some tech.
Yeah, I download the data. Yeah. And Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people have said his career was greatly helped by his fight against Floyd.
Yeah.
Because Floyd fought him when he was very young and schooled him, really. And then Canelo took so much from that. Probably watched the fight back a million times. So, you know, you could do the same just on the YouTube scene, I guess.
Actually. So
I think that's a great way of looking at it, mate. It shows how humble you are. And I like when I watched the fight video that you made saying, I'm going to share the ring. The greatest. It was very respectful. And I think... you know, Daly said in his video, just have fun.
Exactly.
I mean, you're getting to do something that all of the people around you who are training you, I could see Daly in his video just like, almost like a little kid at Christmas, like, I'm going to get to walk my fighter to the middle of the ring and go and let him fight Floyd Mayweather. Like, I could see his mind was blown by that.
Yeah.
Like, at one point he says in the video something like, he says, when we get Deji to fight Floyd Mayweather, and he goes, that still sounds so weird. But yeah, for people like Leon, you're bringing them, the people who've made you are now going to also benefit from that experience because they get to be involved with the Floyd Mayweather fight.
Exactly.
That's the thing about you. When you got in the ring after the Fuzi fight, and we were interviewing you.
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about the people who helped you. Yeah. It wasn't all about you. Yeah. Which is unusual for a fighter, you know? A lot of them just want the starlight, they want to boast and all of that, but you're you're a more thoughtful guy than people give you credit for.
Thank you.
Nah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess that comes back to your family, really. Doesn't, because you're a big family man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the journey to this point, because obviously there was Jake Paul and then a long hiatus. And the Jake Paul fight really shocked a lot of people, and it raised your stock because you bloodied him up, you gave him a good fight, and people were like, Deji's actually tough. Deji's actually not a silly little kid like what we all kind of thought you were, because that's part of the character. But then I felt like you undid a lot of that against Vinny Hacker.
Oh, God.
And then Alex Wasabi as well. My thing was the Vinny Hacker one. What went wrong there? Because you were so out of shape and you were doing things in the ring which were you were just scratching your head watching it. I was so confused.
With the so after the Jake Paul fight, obviously I took like a 3-year hiatus of like just doing stuff, but I wasn't enjoying what I was doing, like the content I was making. I was doing like reaction videos and stuff, and
you seemed unhappy, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
you were lashing out a lot. There was beef. There was. I mean, you know.
No. I don't mind talking about it. Yeah, but it's true. Exactly.
You lashed out at me one point. You lashed out at everyone. Like me and Keem were getting it. KSI, Randolph, like anyone who you knew. You just went for it, and I was like, "This is like, you know me. I can take it as a bit of fun, but with other people, like there was a diss track where you said to Randolph, "Your wedding was shit, and I'm gonna fuck your wife like a hoe."
Yeah. Oh my god.
You're calling your brother out for abortions. It was wild. Like you were the type of person at that point. People must have around you been like, this guy, I don't even want to be involved in him. He's so toxic.
Exactly.
What was it like being that person, and why did you become that person?
What did I become? See that? Just take time. No. That's a really good question. So, that whole
angry phase.
Angry phase. I think that was me letting the internet get to me. So now I don't look at comments or anything, this, that, whatever. Maybe sometimes I look at like Instagram DMs or something. But I don't look at comments anymore. Back then I was looking at comments. I was at like, cause you'll see all the nice comments and then that one hateful comment.
We're all the same. Yeah, we're all the same. So that one hateful comment pisses you off more than the 10 nice ones make you happy.
Yeah. So I was very unhappy because like all the content I was making, I essentially like my viewership dropped. Everything was just going downhill. And
I remember the subs were going down.
Yeah, exactly. Right? My subs were going down.
That was getting to you.
Yeah, everything was getting to me because I was kind of just like being, I'm kind of just fading away off the internet.
And other creators were making jokes at the time.
Exactly.
You became a bit of a meme, which happened to me before, happened to all of us. Like, I remember what seemed to spark it was there was something on the Sidemen thing about what's dead, and it was Deji's channel.
Yeah.
Something, there was a joke, and then that just lit the fuse.
Yeah, so literally when I saw that, because I was kind of just doing my own thing. Obviously, I was losing subscribers, all of that. I was doing my own thing, but then when I saw that, I was like, why kick a dead horse? So then I was like, okay. Then
because you had nothing to lose in your head.
Yeah,
so you're like, I'm already fucking struggling. So fuck it. So you went at Randolph went to you, Sidemen were involved, and then JJ got dragged into it. That at the time, a lot of people thought that was for show. How much of that was show and how much of that was genuine upset?
I know it was all real. Well, for me anyway, it was all real. Like I was using that as a way to just kind of take my anger out on like things.
I mean, creatively. It brought out some interesting things from you. One of my funniest memories is me and Loz sitting watching you, and there's a line on the video where you go, "Yeah, he ran hiding like he's Anne."
God.
And we were like, Anne Frank, I guess he's talking about there. It's a bit of a history lesson.
No, Anne Robinson.
Oh yeah. I was like, I mean, if the Nazis are chasing you, definitely hide. And then I realised in that scenario, you're the Nazis and he's Anne Frank. But yeah, it was a wild time, and it was kind of for us content creators who are watching it unfold, we're not sure how much is real, how much is fake, and it's a bit of fun. But to know underneath all that, you were genuinely pretty low. People probably didn't realise that.
Exactly. As well as, so I took the Jake, so obviously people were saying like, oh, Deji did so well, the Jake fight, this, that, whatever. But I took a loss as a loss. So, and I let that loss get to me.
Really?
Yeah.
How bad are we talking? Like how often are you thinking about something like that on a daily to weekly basis?
I'll be real, I lost. So I was a very confident guy. After that loss, I kind of just became sheltered.
Really?
Honestly, so
you didn't go out as much? Or?
Literally, yeah.
Right.
I took the loss way harder than I essentially should have, if that makes sense. Yeah,
because Jake was obviously we didn't realise at the time, but Jake was legit and a very naturally good boxer.
Yeah.
So there was nothing to be ashamed of, really. But for you, I mean, can you kind of describe life beforehand and life afterwards, so I get a more accurate picture of how you changed?
I'll give you like a better example. Like, so obviously I didn't take the fight seriously, and I was being essentially not I wouldn't say clowned, but I was being. I don't want to say attacked either, but I was being told like, see, you could have been Jake if you just put the work in, kind of being like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of people afterwards said you could have beaten Jake if you put the work in.
Exactly. So, that. Like, we know how Jake...
Was that JJ saying that? Because I remember he said that in a video.
I mean, it's multiple.
Really?
It's multiple people. Over. Yeah, I was multiple people being like, see, this is you should have done this, you should have done that, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then there's this kind of
a young guy getting told, "I told you so."
Yeah,
doesn't sit well.
Exactly.
With you.
So I just let it get to me way harder. So before this whole boxing thing, I was just doing my thing. I was just that bubbly guy, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, screw it, let me do this boxing fight. Like the whole build up to the boxing fight was fun as well. I didn't really take it that seriously, but obviously I was gonna shit talk and everything.
And your star was rising as well. So you were gaining in more popularity than ever.
Exactly.
And it was brothers versus brothers. So that was a cool angle.
Yeah. So
I see now, I must admit, when I look back at you, because I remember you vividly beforehand, you changed so much, but it was quite dark.
Yeah.
And when you came back and fought Vinny, it was years later, right?
So now to talk about that. So I had a chat with Shane before the Vinny fight. I had a chat, like no press conference or anything. Like I had a chat with Shane, and even he this is what he said to me. He was like, I can't, when my friends bad mouth you, I can't like say anything nice because you're not really showing anything good, if that makes sense. So he was just kind of saying like, right now what you're doing, you're not enjoying it, and it's obvious. Like you can see that there's no happiness there. You're kind of I'm forcing a character or something, and that's what he said to me. And I was kind of just like taken aback that he said that.
Because when the real ones tell you it,
exactly,
you can't argue.
Yeah. So then I was like, whoa. And then he said, and then he mentioned the boxing. He mentioned boxing being like, why don't you show people what you really can do in the ring, because I know you can fight, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, whoa, okay. And then the Vinny Hacker fight came around, but obviously I took the piss again.
Why did you take the piss?
Why did I take the piss? So obviously I was...
The narrative is Deji is lazy.
Yes.
That is the narrative.
Yeah, it's true. I am lazy. I'm gonna say I'm lazy. I'm not as lazy I used to be, but
why were you lazy?
Because I was always handed things quite easily, if that makes sense. So like with the whole boxing thing, I grasped it right, like quickly and everything.
I mean, Vidal himself said you were more naturally gifted than JJ.
Yeah, literally. So
and then with YouTube, obviously being KSI's little brother doesn't make life too hard. Yeah. So exactly. So I kind of essentially got things given to me. I wouldn't say I wanted it given to me, because I remember saying at the beginning of my whole YouTube like thing with JJ and everything, I don't want it to just like be, I got everything from you, if that makes sense. I wanted to kind of show that I can do things myself as well. But obviously we did videos together, people were gonna subscribe, but you've got a mega star as your brother. It just is the way it is, isn't it? And you'd be silly not to enjoy that. And he wants to help you. He's your big bro. So I guess this, ironically, just to skip back to Floyd, does this feel like the official moment you step out of your brother's shadow? Because I mean, although you are out of your brother's shadow, this is undeniable now. I mean, does it feel that way, or have you not even thought about that?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. I'll be real. I've just kind of. So
the Fuzi win felt like that moment. That was the best moment on that show.
Thank you.
And you can hear it in my voice when you watch the commentary.
Deji's won!
I couldn't believe it. I'm got goosebumps now just thinking about it, because it was such an emotional moment, and everyone in that audience was like, "Wow, he finally did it," and he looked unbelievable. But you're fighting Floyd Mayweather without your brother involved. It's nothing to do with your brother this time. And Floyd's chosen you, you know, so anyone left sort of wondering, oh, is that KSI's little brother or what? It's like, no, he's Deji, he's fighting Floyd. That's it. And that's something that you should be very proud of.
Thank you. Yeah. So I essentially, like, going back to your question, like, why was I lazy? I kind of got handed things to me. I never really had to. I mean, I did put work in, like let's say like 2014, 15, 16 YouTube time. I was uploading every day. I was enjoying myself and everything, this, that, whatever. But that's when you could do whatever the hell you wanted back on YouTube.
Yeah, the good old days. Not like now, motherfucker.
But I get that kind of stems to my laziness as well. It's just,
well, you know, your parents, because obviously they're a huge role in your life. Did they ever sort of criticize that about you?
All the time. All the time, yeah.
Really?
They were always saying you're lazy. You're lazy. All the time. And
part of that's being a young lad as well. Like, young men find it hard to focus on one thing more than 2 minutes, because there's fucking porn and computer games. Do you know what I mean? It is how we are. So that's fair, and I think it's great that you acknowledge that. And I guess the Vinny was the Vinny Hacker fight a rock bottom moment?
Honestly, yes. I 100% believe so. Yeah, I was going in there. I mean, you saw how I looked. I looked terrible. My game plan was just to knock him out first round.
Yeah, I did feel that way.
And just...
And I mean, you did put it on him, to be fair.
Yeah.
You were actually throwing a lot in that first round. You know what I mean? Like, it was ironic because the Alex Wasabi fight, you were fit as fuck but didn't throw. And I'm like, what happened to Derek Chisora, which I seen in the last fight where he just came out like a destroyer? Let's just get into the Vinny Hacker fight a minute.
Yeah.
Like, if you could take yourself back, imagine those rounds. First round's over. How tired were you in order to need to take that break? And, you know, everyone made fun of taking the knee and all that. But were you...
I was tired.
Really?
Yeah. No, halfway through the second round, I was like, geez, I can't do anymore.
Really?
Literally. I was kind of just forcing myself at that point to just... That's why I was getting clipped.
Yeah.
I was getting clipped.
Because the guy, I mean, Vinny, no disrespect to him, I rate for a pretty boy you can fight.
Yeah.
But he ain't on your level.
Yeah.
And you let him win that fight.
Yeah.
And that must be like fucking annoying because...
Yeah, of course.
And the weird bit about that whole thing for me was when I remember me and Lawrence watching the vlog.
Yeah.
There was a vlog, I can't remember who uploaded a vlog, but there was a vlog of your training camp, and I use that term loosely, and it was like... It looked like a stag do with a fight just thrown in there. It looked like, hey, well, let's go on holiday. Should we have a fight? Yeah, fuck it. Come on. It wasn't even, Dej, it wasn't even like you were training for a fight.
Yeah,
I don't know who those lads were, and there's a lot of things been said. And I ain't even blaming them. I don't know what the fuck went on, but I remember your girlfriend at the time was less than complimentary of them.
Yeah.
Can you shine a light on what the hell was going on? Because it looked just like they were all there for the crack rather than to train you.
So we were in Cancun. Like already me saying that, it's like what's going on? Okay. So yeah, we were in Cancun for what do you call it? Because of the whole COVID thing, we had to isolate. Yeah. Okay. And then we didn't really train. The training.
Why not?
I don't know. So I would train.
Were they your boxing coaches?
Yes. So the training that I would only really do was so we had a basketball court in the sun. I would just run the lengths. That's all I would do. So my main goal at the time was I was weighing like 98 kg. Yeah.
You are nowhere near 100 kg, guy. That is
exactly.
Mental.
So
fucking hell.
I had to come down to a minimum of like 93. Like to be okay, and I was just running the lengths, only drinking green juice and like one slice of pineapple.
Who told you to do this though?
Oh, Dunya.
So these guys were telling you, okay, this is how we're gonna get the weight off you.
Yeah,
with pineapple.
Well, wait, no. So they weren't really giving me any advice on food wise. Like no disrespect to them or anything. Like they could, but they weren't really giving me any advice on food. What I should be doing. They would just want me to lose the weight
by any means.
Yeah, by any means. So then what I would do, all I did was have green juice. I had 2 green juice a day and a slice of pineapple. So you can imagine I was drained for that fight in itself. So
weak as a kitten.
Yeah, literally. So yeah.
What about the boxing side of it? Were they training you?
Oh no, so I was doing pads with them every now and then, but that's it.
Every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's
fuck's sakes, bro.
It's really bad.
I mean, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you can actually make your way back up, though.
Yeah,
and that is the only positive I assume you take from that whole experience is like never again.
Yeah,
because I remember JJ made a scathing video after that because he was just frustrated. What was it like in the aftermath when, obviously, you probably felt like the Jake Paul moment felt like a low, but that probably wasn't as bad as what the Vinny Hacker fight felt. What was it like living through the memes and the jokes and all the bullshit?
Now, this is going to kind of surprise you. So after that loss, after JJ's video and everything, I was kind of like, okay. Then I literally just carried on just making videos.
When you say okay, what does that mean?
When I say okay, like, all right, we move on. Like, I don't care.
So, because there's 2 kinds of I don't care, okay, and personally in my life anyway. Yeah. For me, sometimes I'm like, all right, I can live with that, it's fine. Or there's
literally that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, okay, fine, but internally I'm like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, no. I was like, okay, I'll live with that.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's some sort of a lack of respect for you.
Yeah.
You didn't respect yourself enough.
Honestly.
At that point, your opinion of yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want to say depression, but it's not that far away from feeling depressed, that, isn't it? When you just, the self-worth isn't quite there. Because that guy who was flying at the start of his YouTube journey is almost a memory.
You know what? I've actually never admitted this to any time, but this is mad. So, I used to cry myself to sleep a lot during those times.
I'm not surprised.
I used to cry myself to sleep a lot, just being like I'm just like a failure. You know what I mean? Just like what's my actual purpose?
Yeah. I get that. And do you know what the weirdest thing for creators, bro, is like we put so much pressure on ourselves to be always at the top of our game.
Exactly.
That if you're not in a good moment, and I know me personally, if I haven't just done a good podcast recently or I'm struggling to get the mojo, I feel like a failure. You know, so I can empathize with that. It's quite a normal thing. And you're an emotional guy, more emotional than, you're either laughing your head off or we see that from you. And I think that's why people connect with you. So there's no shame in admitting that, by the way. If anything, it's good to hear that someone who has got insane success in his life, 10 million plus subs, all of the things you've done, you've just been on one of the best shows in boxing this year, but you're just a fucking person.
Yeah.
And was there anyone you told about that at the time when it was happening?
No one.
What about you? Had girlfriends and stuff? Nothing to them? Wow. Men bottle shit up, don't we? Fuck me. We really do.
Yeah, no, honestly, that was just like a me moment. You know what? Even I was even doing some stupid stuff like I would be spending stupid amounts of money just to kind of cope with things. It was like
you were releasing it through. What about getting pissed or getting drunk or whatever? Anything like that?
No. Thankfully, no.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
Yeah. but your eating habits, your spending habits, they all went to shit.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty bad, bro.
But that's the thing. Like, no one knew this. Yeah. So I just kept it to myself, and then
it feels like towards the Alex Wasabi fight, something changed. Maybe
I'm trying to think.
Because you were in much better shape for that fight. You were in a better direction. What was the turning point? Was there a turning point or not?
No, there was a turning point. So I got myself a PT, Kyle Sullivan.
Okay.
Because I told him, help me.
Help me, help you.
He helped me lose like a lot. I don't even really give him that much credit, but thank you, Kyle Sullivan. Like, you've done a lot for me. So so he was like the pre-workout, and then I had my camp with see that one was a weird one too, because I had coaches, and then halfway through I went to daily.
That was weird, right?
Yeah.
Why the change? Because
so the change, I don't feel like I was being pushed enough, if that makes sense. So
and a guy did a video about that.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, that's the problem when you become a YouTuber, is like you're an opportunity for anyone and everyone, and we know this, is like you can't have a fucking friendship without someone making a video or whatever. But you had every right to change. What was it like when you seen that video come out where the guy who was training you was like, Deji this, Deji that, or...
I didn't watch it. I mean, I already knew what it was going to be about. I didn't waste my time. I was just...
Yeah, I'm the same. When someone makes a diss video about me or bitching about me, I'm like, I don't need that negativity. Say what you want. That's cool. You're one of many. I've got a library, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made the right call, obviously, daily.
But that was after the Alex Wasabi fight, when that video came out.
Oh,
This is where Shane fully comes in. He's like, you want to shut this video up? Win your next fight. And he was like, okay, cool. Yeah,
right, so he used that as motivation.
Yeah.
Coming into the Alex Wasabi fight, you're obviously in better shape. Yeah. A lot of pressure on. Didn't really pull the trigger on the night. And I remember I was watching it right at that computer there, and I was pissed off. because I could see that you had the skills to compete with him. And at the end I was like, fucking shit. Like I was genuinely frustrated, you know what I mean? And I guess some people may have been the same around you afterwards, because I felt like you didn't learn the lesson at that time. Obviously later you obviously did, but you were like, I did great, everything was great, and then JJ and many other people were like, but you didn't fight, like you didn't pull the trigger. What was it like realizing all of that after the fight?
There's a theme with my first 3 fights. My mental was not like right, if that makes sense. So for the Jake fight, I was coming in there being like, oh wow, this is actually happening, no way. I was kind of just fighting off instinct. Second fight, I didn't even, my brain wasn't there. I wasn't even thinking. Like I couldn't even remember what was going on. It was very weird.
Wow.
And then with this third fight, I don't think I've admitted this either. So before it,
against Wasabi,
I called my mum and I just bursted into tears. And the thing is, the reason why I bursted into tears is because I kind of just knew, like it wasn't right. Like there's a lot with the Fuzi fight that I need to mention as well, because before that fight as well, the Fuzi fight, I'm skipping a bit, I know, I'm sorry. Before the Fuzi fight, JJ called me and he said one thing that just relaxed me throughout the whole day.
Okay.
He said, you got nothing to lose, just go in there, have fun. That's all he said. And I was like, wow.
Because he's massive in your life, obviously, and he's put pressure on you in the past. But in that one call, he took the pressure away, literally, like nobody else could, literally, because this was his show.
He said it and I was like, whoa. I was like, all right, cool. No, but the thing is, during the whole fight week of the Fuzi thing, I was like, I'm gonna go through this guy. I was just like, I could say that. Your whole vibe was different. You were so much more mature. But going back to the Wasabi fight, because we are dancing around, the call with your mother. Can you remember what you said to her and what she said to you? I called her and I was like, I can't do this. And she said, I can't do this. I was just crying on the phone, I can't do this. And she started crying back too, because I was crying. And then obviously my mum's religious, she started praying for me. And then this is a weird one. While she's praying, I was shadowboxing, just to kind of like psych myself, cool myself, cool myself down, as well as psych myself up, being like, you can do this, come on Deji, and everything. And then essentially it did help. But then when it comes to my ring walk of the Alex Wasabi, do you know that feeling when you can just cry? I got that feeling again. I was like, whoa, like, what am I doing here? I was like, I didn't want to be here, literally.
You know, pro fighters have said those same things though. Donald Cerrone, who fought Conor McGregor in that fight a couple of years back, he said, I got in the cage, I just didn't want to be there. So it's normal. This is a guy who's got probably more UFC fights than anyone else, feeling the same way you were in a fight against Alex Wasabi, a YouTube guy. So, you know, I think it's important not to beat yourself up too much about those moments. But it does feel like the lack of preparation has been a key reason why in the back of your mind there's always that doubt of like, have I done enough? Whereas it felt like the Fuzi week, so calm. I was there watching you guys talking. Fuzi's very full on, you know, and I can imagine a little bit intimidating for people who are about to fight him when he's got that look in his eyes and he is like, you fucked up picking me, and he's there with his washboard abs like acting like I'm ready for you. You know he's ready, as in fight ready. But you were just like, okay. It was a total different vibe. I was like, wow, Deji like feels so much more grown up. The way you were talking to people, it was like you'd matured a lot. Why the change in attitude, energy, maturity?
That's what losses do, honestly. Like I was just losing all the time. So I'll be honest, like before the Jake Paul fight, I was a very up my ass type guy. I was like, I'm the shit, look at me, this, that, whatever. Those 3 losses really like brought me down to earth, being like, what are you doing? Like, wow, this, that, whatever. And honestly, I'm happy for those losses. I needed those losses because
we have that in life, don't we? It's not just in the ring, but like, yeah, sometimes being humbled, it's painful, but it's fucking necessary to make you a better version of you.
Because I mean, I was a dickhead. Let's be real.
We've all been there.
I was a dick. So, because the people who actually cared about me, I kind of just threw them away.
Really?
I remember I went through a whole period, like going back to the whole, like, you know, after the Jake Paul fight, I was just unfollowing people. Anyone who said something bad about me, even if they're joking, I was unfollow them. I couldn't take a joke. Everything pissed me off.
Your ego was too in control of you. Whereas the Deji before Fuzi, the ego wasn't there, because when he's going at you, you didn't even feel the need to respond. You were like, it's all good. Like, total different attitude.
There's one TikTok that I saw JJ react to. I didn't even know I did this. So because he's saying, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, this, that, blah, 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 and then it pans to me and I just smile. I didn't even know it. Like,
So what was you've talked a lot about your ring walks and how you're feeling on the way there. What was the feeling? Because the Fuzi fight was different in that biggest YouTube boxing event ever, and yet you seem calmer. What was the feeling on the way to the ring?
So throughout the whole fight week, I was calm. Yeah, you know this. And then that ring walk, I loved it.
Oh,
I loved it. So song selection is actually a key part of like the whole thing. I picked Last by Burna Boy. I was just vibing. I always listen to that song. Thank you, Ryan, again. He's the one who actually introduced me to Burna Boy. So
I think it's healthy to have a song that relaxes you on the way to the ring. Some people get too G'd up by their music, and the adrenaline's pumping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I felt like Gibb did that on his fight with Jake Paul. He was so pumped on the way. It was like, mate, you got to save some energy for the ring, pal. Yeah.
So I was just relaxed.
What was it like when you were in there with him and you eventually started landing those shots? Like, when you see in the fight unfolding, and at what moment did you feel like, I've got you, you're fucked now?
Alright, I'm gonna be super honest, I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember the fight
at all.
I was so zoned in, honestly.
That's mad.
Yeah, I was so zoned in.
So what is your last memory and first memory, like last memory before and first memory after? Like, what was the bits that you do remember of anything? So
I remember I couldn't hear the crowd.
Really?
Couldn't hear anything.
That crowd was loud as shit for your fight as well, by the way. So I don't know how you did that. I had headphones in, I could hear them through the headphones.
Wow.
You had the loudest scream of the night by a mile.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I didn't even hear them. I heard them after the win. When I saw the tower, I was like, whoa, what? And then I was like, wait. Yeah. But
the fact that you're even acting like how you were surprised though is mad, because you were so confident in there.
It was literally everything that I've been training, like, it just came in, literally.
Finally, all put together. The fitness, the technique. It was every weakness that we'd seen from you was gone. Like, all the big weaknesses that meant that you would fall down at some point were gone.
But it's kind of, so like halfway through my camp, like not the bad half, the good half, I kind of programmed my brain in the sense that the moment I hit the ring, just whoever's in front of you, just fight them. So literally, anytime I just hit the ring, I'm zoned in. Yeah,
overthinking is a big problem in sport.
Exactly.
And you seem to have just like found a way around that to be in there and be feeling it, not overthinking it.
I owe that to the mental side to Leon and Shane, honestly. If it wasn't for them, I'm telling you right now, I would not have won my fight, and I know that for a fact.
I want to talk about JJ. Obviously, huge part of your life.
Yeah.
It's been an up and down relationship that's played out in front of everyone. What is the relationship like now after all of those ups and downs?
I mean, before I was kind of scared to talk to him. Now I don't mind.
Scared why?
I was scared in the sense that I know I've kind of disappointed him. I know I've done so much bad stuff to him that he literally has no reason to talk to me. Like, the whole public thing that we had should not have been public. It shouldn't have. I was like an extremist.
You were uncontrollable.
Yeah. Uncontrollable.
It's kind of like, like you were kind of bipolar, like very hard to pin down, and he was trying to regulate a situation.
Exactly.
And you were like, no, don't control me.
Yeah. Literally.
Must have been very frustrating for him.
But that was me letting the internet get to me again. like internet is
they fuck with you. Yeah.
Literally.
I actually said to a friend of mine the other day, don't get me wrong, thank God I'm in the business I'm in, because my job beforehand was a lot harder, on the body and everything else, but fucking mentally, I don't know if there's a worse job for your mental health in the UK than being a YouTuber who gets told on a daily basis, here's why you're a fucking shithead and here's what we hate about you.
Yeah.
Not, people worry about footballers and them playing a game. It's like we're critiquing their game, we're critiquing boxer skills, but we get it about us personally.
Yeah.
You're a dick because of this or that, or you look fat or whatever else it is, Yeah, it is pretty rough, and unfortunately that probably had you all in a bad state of mind for a good relationship with your big bro. Who, was there ever, I don't know, jealousy or inferiority feelings, or did you ever get annoyed that people seen you as in his shadow, or was that ever the driving force behind the issues? Or
so I was never jealous, but I was pissed off that my efforts were being overshadowed, if that made sense.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't want to take away his success.
Yeah, exactly.
But you just wanted to be recognised.
Yeah, literally. So, because I was doing my own thing, but then people would, people still do it now, they compare. I don't, again, before the Jake Paul, I had really, thick skin. My skin kind of just like, what?
Your armour went.
Yeah, literally. And then, yeah, and now me growing up, people say whatever. I'm just like, okay.
What kind of things do you talk about with JJ?
Everything, really.
Really? Yeah.
Literally everything. So I think the last thing I talked to him about was so my friend Shane, he's an Arsenal supporter, and then I was like, can you get me tickets to the derby?
That's cool.
Yeah. So I literally, that's what I did for Shane. I got him tickets, and he's gassed. So
that's lovely, mate. And obviously, look, your big Christmas fallout was biblical.
Yeah.
It was such a weird time on YouTube that to see two guys who are mega popular going at each other on Christmas. But what was going through your head towards him? Because it felt like bridges were burnt at that point.
So I had just come back from LA. Obviously, I did that stupid diss track that I did on him.
It was probably your best diss track, to be fair. I think JJ said that himself. He's like, it would be the good one against me, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so
You literally enlisted guys he had beef with. Was it Jax?
It was Dax and Crypt.
Yeah.
And Jallo as well.
Yeah.
So I did that stupid diss track. And
what was the thinking in that moment of doing that diss track? Why take it to another level?
I was just angry. I was just there were a lot of things right now. I've kind of erased a lot of it from my head, but it was just pure anger, just anger. Yeah.
Why at him though? Why angry with him specifically?
So there was one. So there was a sparring footage that I had with JJ, and then I saw that, and then it was just between me and JJ, but then I saw that sparring footage in Randolph's diss track. So then I was like, so what was my thought process was, okay, so you've
given Randolph.
Exactly. You given him some ammunition, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So you've told him this, that, blah, blah, blah. And that was going through my head. So instead of going at Randolph, I went at JJ. And that's when the whole thing.
What was that like for your parents over that period, do you think?
Oh God, it was bad, man. It was really, really bad, especially because we were going through the whole dog situation as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember that. You were pretty low about that as well, because for those who don't know, you had a dog that you absolutely loved called Tank.
Yeah,
had an incident. And someone was pressing charges, right? Yeah,
and literally, so my mum was going through that, and my dad as well. But obviously, my mum was getting most of the what do you call it, backlash?
Okay,
well, from the police and everything.
Really?
So we were going through that. Then everything was. So my parents, my mum, she was. To my dad, he's very. Macho. He never show emotions, but obviously I knew he was feeling it, because when we had our the court case and everything, I've never seen him cry.
Really?
And I saw him cry there.
What was it that made him cry?
When it was like told that our dog was gonna get put down. My dad, I was angry. And then too, I was just but all I could do was just I held both their hands and I was like, it's alright. I had to just stay strong myself. They both were crying and I was just staying strong during that whole whole thing.
Can you enlighten us as to actually what that incident entailed?
My neighbour, they were on our grounds. My dog charged at her and she hit Tank over the head, and then obviously Tank retaliated by nipping her. And then
but it wasn't a bad bite necessarily.
It wasn't a bad bite, no. And then yeah,
I mean, I guess because you had a big dog, it's like
exactly.
If a little Shih Tzu does that, no one bats an eyelid.
Yeah.
But a big dog, people instantly freak out.
And then the police, they actually uploaded the footage
to YouTube.
Yeah, but then people they were like, what's wrong with this?
Yeah, because from what I remember of the footage, because even I seen it, she was like at the gate.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, well, what are you doing? Look?
Yeah, and then they were getting so much backlash that they ended up deleting. Yeah, because they obviously, I maybe the
police putting the YouTube ads on there. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So
obviously we were going through all of that, and then this whole JJ situation. Me and my parents, especially my mum, she was down. Like really, really down in distraught. Everything was just.
Did you feel partly responsible for that? In terms of everything that she was going through?
Of course, 100%. Like, if I could turn the clock back, there's a lot I would change.
Have you guys talked about this openly as in like, as a family, or are you more the type of family to just try and get on with life and not dwell on those things?
So I've apologized to my parents. I've apologized to JJ regarding the whole situation and everything. So but yeah, we're kind of the type to just, it's happened, move on, you know what I mean?
I think that's healthy, isn't it? I mean, there's no point in and with JJ in your relationship, obviously he's gone on and probably achieved things that nobody thought possible at this point, with his music and his fighting and everything. What's it been like for you to watch the kid who you remember, you know, as a little geek playing FIFA?
I'm happy for him.
To see him transform and do all this. I'm
nothing but happy for him.
Yeah.
Like, seeing him do his thing is just amazing, because I remember back when we were in our old, like the first house.
Yeah.
Seeing him do his raps and everything, I would love it. I would be like, oh, okay, yeah. And now seeing him on the big stage is amazing.
Oh yeah.
And when I got to see him perform in the O2, was it the O2? Wembley. I was blown away. I was like, from being at his desk to this, it was amazing.
You know when
I was more looking at one of his dances though. It was
we know. Not the only one. I mean, but you know the real him more than any of us. You know the kid inside. In terms of how he's changed, I mean, success changes everyone. How would you say he's changed from the kid who you knew to the man he is today? So, what are the main differences?
Obviously, he went through his ups and downs as well. Like, I'm not going to talk about them because I doubt he would want me to.
Yeah, people know.
But like, he went through a lot, and it kind of just shows that if you being at the top, there's always like, obviously you have to kind of put up a front, but at the same time, there's a lot going on that people don't know.
That can be quite lonely at the top.
Exactly. Yeah. And I saw that with JJ. There were times where I could see that he was just lashing out, and I would just be like, let me just spend time with you. There was one time I literally just came to his house to talk, and I feel like that made us even closer. Honestly, after that, we've been nothing but, I don't mind saying anything to him, if that makes sense. So,
it's important to have that as guys, innit? Like, because there's times where you bottle things up, and then I know I push people away and I isolate when I'm feeling the pressure of life and all that shit. But the minute someone who you know has got your back sits there in front of you, in person, not on the phone or whatever, but ideally in person, like you say, in the room, you will open up, and he knows he's got you for life in that regard. So Do you ever worry about him though, in terms of like, unfortunately, the shitty side of the industry is you've got so many people who will look at JJ as an opportunity,
exactly,
a cash cow.
Yeah.
And he is, like, you know, that's what happens when you make shitloads of money. You need a team. Yeah. That's part of life. But do you ever worry about people capitalizing and using him? And
I mean, I've talked to JJ about this. Really? I've told him there are some people that, you know, just be wary and all that and everything. So he knows all that, and I never. Have
you named them? Have you said like, watch that one?
Maybe.
Fair play.
No, but
no, but he needs a.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and then I've also, there was one point where he would see me that way too. He'd be like, oh, you just want to use me to grow.
Wow.
And I was like, I'd never want that. I don't want you to feel that way, because when with this whole, believe it or not, actually, JJ's the one who is making me upload again.
Really?
Yeah, because I like neglected YouTube. I was just kind of just doing this focusing on boxing.
Yeah, he never has throughout all of this.
Yeah,
he's always stayed consistent.
Yeah, so literally he was the one being like, you need to upload again. You're neglecting YouTube. I know you love boxing, this, that, whatever, but you need to start uploading again, this, that, whatever. So yeah, JJ's helping me upload again.
And so when he said, oh, you're just sort of using me, and like, look, we don't know what frame of mind he was in that moment, and I can only imagine how hard it must be. I know from my experience in life, the amount of people I've fucking given stuff to and they fucked me over I can only imagine what it's like being him. So, you know, if he was a little paranoid, who would blame him? But were you feeling kind of like, wow, I can't believe you'd see me that way, because that's not what's in here?
Yeah, so like obviously when I heard that, I wanted to then kind of show him that that's not the case. So then I would kind of keep my distance and show him that I don't want you to see me that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and is that the right way to go about
exactly,
it as well?
Yeah. So
you're fucked either way.
Yeah, literally. So me keeping my distance made things worse, really, because then he was like, oh, okay, what, you think you're better than me, this, blah, 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 and all that crap. Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing, we were both growing up like
in the spotlight.
Exactly.
Fucking hard, mate.
Yeah.
It is. And look, you know, we've seen Jake and Logan have struggled with the same things.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
So that's the thing, like unfortunately a lot of our stuff was public, but yeah, it was one of those, we went through it. It was we were both growing up, and yeah,
you've gone through the Deji little egomaniac, right? Gone through the beatings. You took them like a man. You learned from them. You came back stronger, and now you're bigger than you ever were. But now you've got the life experience to use it and go, don't get carried away this time, because I know how much I can fuck it up. What are the things you're worried about now as you approach like the prime Deji?
Oh, one more. Okay. What am I worried about now? I'll probably say girls now.
Oh man,
honestly.
It's a good topic. Come on. What? So are you seeing anyone now?
No, I'm single.
Okay, so you had that girlfriend who was very public, very outspoken.
Yeah.
What?
Very volatile. Very.
Okay. What went wrong with that relationship?
Oh God. So I'm a very ambitious person.
Okay.
And I want someone to match my ambition, if that makes sense. I don't want someone, I can never just settle. I always want more, if that makes sense.
More what?
Just more success.
For yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want someone who also is ambitious in their own life.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
so you don't want someone who's just going to back you and be there for you. You want them to be getting their own goals.
So so they can back me as well as be ambitious, you know. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, have their own goals as well. Not just be okay with just what they have. And
a lot of women, I don't know, you're a bit of a meal ticket now, let's be real. It's going to be difficult to find someone, but when you say ambitious, ambition can come in a lot of forms. You can have someone who is pursuing a career in working in hospitals or any. Do you mean any kind of ambition, or do you think that you want someone who's more aligned with? Because I spoke to Logan and he said he wants a woman who understands the industry. Does that matter to you or not?
I wouldn't say so. No, not really.
So you could have a normal person essentially. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I think I'd prefer that if anything, because I feel like there were times where it was getting a bit competitive
between you and her.
Yeah, and I kind of saw that.
As in, she was very ambitious herself, but too ambitious.
No, I wouldn't say she was too ambitious. She was more. What's the best way of putting it?
Was she wanting the limelight?
No, thank you. No, she was seeing me do things and then she would copy it, if that makes sense. Right. So let's say if I don't upload for a week, then she would be like, cool, I don't have to upload for a week, if that makes sense.
All right, so she was just paying attention to a lot of what you were doing.
And then as well as when I go back to the whole ambition thing, like so
she was a YouTuber before you? I didn't realise that.
No, she wasn't, no.
Oh, so she just started a channel because of you?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So she would never really do anything outlandish, if that makes sense. She wouldn't really want to put the effort in, if that makes. She wasn't. Damn, I really suck at explaining.
No. Let me ask, because I'm here to ask the question. Okay, so you meet this girl.
Yes.
She starts a YouTube channel after meeting you.
Yeah.
Now, historically, that goes very well for the girl.
Yeah.
And at some point, she doesn't need you anymore. Was that ever in your
no
thought process?
I always wanted her to go beyond me.
Really?
If that makes sense. Like, not just
do your own thing.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to do her own thing. But she was always okay to just settle. Like, let's say she had like a brand deal. She'll do the brand deal, and then the money she got, she'll just chill. She'll be like, cool, I've got money. I can now just relax. Whereas I want someone they get that money, they taste it, they're like, ooh, I want more now. More.
It's ironic though, because you've been accused of being lazy, and that's something that you find quite unattractive in someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about physically. What do you like in a woman? Is there any things that you're
am I on Tinder now? Ooh.
Yeah, doing Tinder for Deji. Come on, get your applications in.
Wait, so physically, what do I like in a girl? I mean,
hair color, eye color, anything like that. Physicality.
Honestly, I don't mind. I'm actually a very easy person. Honestly, I've been with girls taller than me. I've been with girls shorter than me, same height. I actually don't mind, honestly.
What about physically? Is there a thing that you look for? Because you get guys who are bum guys.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm definitely a bum guy, 100%.
Same.
Yeah, I'm 100% a bum guy.
And let's talk about, like, as they say, green flags that you look for as a personality type. So you've said you like someone who's driven, motivated.
Yeah.
What about how they treat you specifically?
So obviously, I don't want them to be like starstruck. I want them to just kind of be more chill and just be cool with me, be comfortable with me, if that makes sense. And I'll be comfortable with you. You
don't want them to make a big deal about the whole YouTube thing, which is probably why I think a lot of guys out there who are in the industry like quote unquote normal women with normal jobs, is because it's like, you don't want to be in that mode of YouTube all the time. You need to switch off, right?
Exactly.
And they take you out of that.
So yeah, and then as well as I don't know, I feel like it's more beneficial because, don't get me wrong, with YouTube, having a public relationship with like another like influencer is I've seen it. It never ends well.
Yeah, JJ's avoided that as well.
Yeah.
I think the smart people do that, to be fair, unless you're absolutely sure this is it. It's a rough one, because when you break up, you have to do the breakup video and all that bullshit. What was your longest relationship?
That one. I've only ever had one relationship, and that was
how long was it?
2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it weird when it was no more, and you're sitting there and you're like, well, who am I watching Netflix with now? Then I'm on my own, or what did it? Was it a relief? How did you feel?
I feel like it was best for both of us, really. Really. I was more relieved. I'm pretty sure she was relieved too, because I don't think she liked the whole in the spotlight thing. So I feel like
she was following you down to the boxing ring with her phone out, and I was like, this is wild. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
it must have been a lot for you guys to go through in that period.
Oh no, that was the coach's phone. They said record it.
That is mad. She hammered those guys, didn't she? I remember that. Fuck me, that was funny. Bringing it right the way back to Floyd.
Yeah.
This is, I guess, going to be one of the biggest moments of your life.
Yeah, it's monumental, really.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to do the thing that you do in the ring with Floyd, which is switch off and do your normal thing? Or do you think that the fact that his eyes are going to be on you and you're going to be painfully aware that he is the GOAT or one of, do you think that will impact you more?
Well, when we do our face-off, I'll DM you and I'll tell you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm shitting myself. Yeah. Get me out of this. Pull me out, coach. You'll be fine. You've got Leon behind you.
Thank you.
We'll tag him in halfway through. Just let him take over. One last question for you, Dej.
100%.
And I've thoroughly enjoyed it today.
Thank you.
Is how would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered? I'd probably say I'd like to be remembered as someone who would never give up. As much as people, would shit on him, this, that, whatever, he never gave up.
You know what? I was hoping you'd say that, because that's how I see you. So respect. You've proved me wrong time and time again now, and we're all going to be rooting for you. And a win is stepping in the ropes with one of the greatest. So well done to you, mate.
Thank you.
That was Deji on the True Geordie podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Come on, Deji.
Come on.
Well done, mate. Proud of you.
Thank you.
That was good.